So Inventor works with projects. Okay. Now I hope you can see this engine here. We've already got, I know not all of these are part of the engine, but you do quickly end up with lots of part files and lots of files in the same place. And if you had lots of different projects, maybe you was working on an engine for one person, and then next week you was working on the wheel assembly, and the next week some piping for someone else, you would quickly end up with masses of files all over. And how would you know which file was part of which project? Well, Inventor gives us projects, okay? So here we have some projects I've been doing. Beginner's course, that's the things we'll be looking at in this course. That's our engine I've just shown you, and that's a project I set up to do this course, okay? We have some other things, a Falcon 9 rocket. If you go on our model site, you'll see that there's some 3D models that can be downloaded and printed on a 3D printer, and one of those is a rocket. We have a Saturn V rocket at the moment, that's available free to download. And then there's some default projects that came with the software. Later on, when you've been using it for a while, you'll end up with masses of projects in here, okay? So first thing is to create a new project, and that is what we'll work on for this beginner's course. You see I've already got it here, but the way you would create a new project, and you can follow along with me now, is to go click on File, Manage, and you see here Projects, okay? So click on that, and now you click on New and select Single User Project. Now what do these mean? Well, a Vault project, that's if you were in the workplace, you imagine if 10 people were working on this engine, it'd be a bit of a nightmare, everyone trying to swap files, somebody's working on it. It's basically a document management system that allows multiple people to work inside the same project, okay? So if you end up using Inventor in the workplace, they'll teach you how their Vault is set up. Vaults can be set up differently. We're not going to go into that in this course. We're going to look at single user projects. A single user project means everything's just stored on your own machine, okay? So select single user project, click next. Now project name, you can call it beginner's course, same as mine if you want, or you can call it something else. The general standard for this is to not use spaces and to use a capital letter for a new word. So keep the words without a space but use a capital to start a new word. Inventor doesn't like spaces, or I believe it's got better now. Traditionally it didn't like spaces and people tend not to use them. I don't think you will be looked on very favourably if you started putting spaces in your project. So that is a convention a lot of people use, is just a new word starts with a capital letter like that. So you can create one, and if you type in there beginner's course or whatever you want, and I'll show you, you might be able to see, if you look in here, this is a folder where it will save on your computer, okay? So if you need to find your files, this is where you can find them. But if you look at the end, as I type capital, it's creating that folder for me, okay? So if you click next, and then you can click finish. Now mine says it already exists. Yours should create it. It might ask, should I create this folder? Click yes, okay? And then when you've done that, you should have up here a beginner's course project. So you can, if it isn't already, you can tick the box. Ticking the box makes it the active project. If you've got lots of projects, obviously one of them needs to be active, and that is a folder you'll be working in. If you press save, it will go into the active project. So you want to be in the correct project, okay? So once that's checked, then we're ready. You can click on new part and start the next chapter.